IELTS speaking. I'm not able to cross that 6.5. No matter how much hard I practice, I'm stuck at 6.5. I'm not getting 7.58. I think there should be some secret tips. There should be definitely some techniques with which I think I can get that 8 easily. Because my English is good. I can speak well, but not understanding what is happening. Where am I going wrong? Well, if you're wondering, then trust me. Today's video is for you, because today I'm going to give you 10 secret tips that no one tells you on how to get that 8, 8.5 or 9 in IELTS speaking. Make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul from Skills IELTS. I'm back with another video. Today's video is all about those 10 secretive, crucial, hidden, important tips to get that IELTS speaking 8. Well, if you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button for the future notifications, and any point of time you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can text us to the WhatsApp number given there. We will be there, I'll be there to help you, guide you in the right direction. Alright, let's get into the video. Let me just share my screen. 10 IELTS secret tips for about 9 IELTS for your IELTS speaking. Okay, let's quickly go on, move on to the tip number 1. What is that primary tip? Well, we have a lot of tips, but the primary tip that I want to focus on today is never give too much importance to content over fluency. So what people end up doing most of the times, the examiner will ask you a question, yes, and then you try to answer, trying to give a perfect idea, perfect keyword, perfect content. In fact, people spend a lot of time on the content, but if you see the evaluation criteria of IELTS speaking, there is no content written at all. That means content doesn't carry any mark. That doesn't mean that you can give some generic answer. What I mean is content is not a priority. This people don't understand. As a result, when you're too much focused on the content, what happens? You will not be able to carry that flow. The fluency will be hampered. It's always a trade-off between content and the fluency. You decide which is important. Of course, it is the fluency. That means, yes, listen, understand the question and try to answer. And when you answer, be a bit more conscious and try not to give too much importance to the content. It's okay even if you little deviate from the topic, from the content. It's totally fine as long as you are fluent. It's always a trade-off. You want fluency and content at the same time. It is very difficult unless you are a speaker. If you're not, then getting hold on to the content and the fluency at the same time is quite difficult. So what I mean is give, let's say, 70% priority to the fluency, 30% to the content. This way you can actually increase your fluency score. Fluency and coherence, pronunciation, vocabulary and grammar. These 4 things are there, present in the evaluation criteria part, not the content. Tip number 1 is very, very basic. No one tells you this. This is the secretive tip number 1. Let's move on to tip number 2. Don't drag the sentences, but keep adding and. I've seen people doing this. Let's say examiner asks you a question. Do you like ice cream? I love ice creams. I prefer going out on weekends, and I call my friends for the party, and so this way people keep on adding and all this will take away your fluency scores. Coherence, cohesion is all about main idea, supporting idea, example, conclusion. There should be a proper narration, proper division. Just using and most importantly grammar goes for a toss. Correct? When you keep on adding and it's always a compound sentence. Compound sentences, 2 independent sentences, add and they're adding 10 ands in a sentence. Grammar marks goes down. Fluency, of course, completely gone case. Coherence, cohesion gone. Avoid doing it. And how can we avoid it? Become a bit more conscious. Okay, I'm using it very frequently. I think I should stop doing it. When you put that effort, when you get the thought in the mind, it becomes easy over a period of time. That's the quick tip number 2. Let's quickly move on to the tip number 3. Let's get into the part 1. Make sure to mix what? Simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. This is a priority because grammar marks is completely based on this, which people often ignore. For example, if this is the question, do you like ice creams? A typical band 6 or band 6.5 response would be something like this. Yes, I love ice creams. I always eat them on weekends. Second simple sentence. I even try to make ice creams at home. 3 simple sentences being used. Grammar marks completely come down. This is not the way. You have to mix simple, compound, complex. Something like this. Pay more attention. It's actually simple. I am very fond of ice creams. This is a simple sentence. Although the moment I use the word although, it becomes a complex sentence. Recently I made a video on different types of sentences. Get onto the video at the earliest after you finish this video. Although I am advised not to consume much of sugars and fats due to being overweight, I still have a cheat meal in my routine. This ends the complex sentence. In fact, every weekend I visit a cafe and relish my sweet tooth. This is a compound sentence. Not exactly I need a connector here, but it's okay, you can consider. So this way I'm mixing simple, compound, complex. This is required. Hope you are getting it. So the template that I often advise people to go with is this. First line would be the answer to the point. See, do you like ice creams? Yes, I am very fond of ice creams. Second line would be paraphrase it, talk something about ice creams, man. Although I love eating it, my gym trainer has advised me not to consume it, though I have a small cheat day on Sundays. This is a paraphrase and you start that sentence with a subordinate conjunction like although, since, if, when, whenever, wherever, in spite of, despite, all this create that dependency. As a result, you end up speaking a bit more. See, although blah 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 blah, I still have. A noun will come, this lengthens the sentence, you're going to occupy some more time, peacefully you're going to speak and you're going to cover the coherence quotient part because paraphrasing is done and the grammar part is already taken care of. Hope you're getting it, and then you conclude it or you add additional information. So this is additional information. In fact, every weekend I visit a cafe and relish my sweet tooth. Hope you're getting it. So this, answer to the point, paraphrase it, conclude or add additional idea. This is coherence cohesion. Here nothing. Yes, I love ice creams. I always eat them. I even write 3 points have been written in a very bland way. Hope you are getting it. So this is that secretive tip number 3. Make use of this and see the magic number that just appears on your score report. Tip number 4, part 1. Don't have to worry about important content or important points like I told in the beginning. There's no marks for that. For example, the same question, I'm going to give you an example as to what I'm talking about. Do you like ice creams? Actually, I don't like ice creams. Let's say you don't like ice creams. What will you say? I don't like ice creams. I'm a fitness fanatic and my trainer has always asked me to consume vegetables and protein, and I always end up taking a lot of protein, lot of chicken, lot of fish, and I completely avoid ice cream. So entire paragraph is not at all about ice cream. Hope you are getting it. If you talk about ice creams or if you don't talk about ice creams, you get the same scores. Where the scores are hidden: fluency, pronunciation, coherence, cohesion, vocabulary, grammar. Actually, I don't like ice creams. In fact, I'm on a diet and my trainer has advised me to take more of veggies. Moreover, additional information. I'm a fitness fanatic and like to be in shape and always love consuming. That adds up to my physics. So only the first line I'm talking about ice cream. The rest of the lines, I'm not even concerned about it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Give only 30% preference to the content. Over 70% preference to the fluency, coherence, cohesion, grammar, lexical resource. Hope you're getting it. This is that secret tip number 4 that no one actually tells you. Okay. Tip number 5, part 1. Each question speak at least for 17 to 20 seconds. You follow the template that I've given you. Easily you will end up finishing within 20 seconds. Don't have to drag the answer and make it to 40 seconds and thinking, I spoke a lot, so I get more marks. You speak more, you make more mistakes. The more you speak, the more mistakes you make. Always be precise, little descriptive. 20, 22 seconds, 25 bhi chalega. 25 is also fine, but don't get to 40, 45 seconds just for part 1. I mean, unless you have a hold on the language, it's okay. If you don't have that hold on the language, be very sure, be very, wise. Try to speak less than 20 seconds. 3 sentences enough. Answer to the question, paraphrase, and then additional idea or conclusion. Actually, more than enough. Tip number 6, part 2. Cue card, all right. Use template for the cue card. What kind of template? Divide the entire thing into 5 phases. The first phase is background information where you're going to talk about the past tense of the verb. That's going to last for 20-25 seconds. Then 3 slots you give for 3 questions asked in a chit, right? They would have given you a chit. 3 questions will be there. Use those 3 things and divide the time into 20-25 seconds for 3 questions. And then futuristic ideas, where you going to put the future form of the word, getting the most of grammar marks. Pay more attention, this is the template. The entire 2 minute is approximately 120 second, right? So there 20-25 second we divide into background information. After 25 second, 20 second into 3 or 25 second into 3 for the 3 slot, the 3 bulletin questions, and then futuristic points 20-25 seconds. This way you will divide part 1, part 2, 3, 4, part 5. 5 parts you are going to divide the entire thing into and speak very comfortably, man. And next step going to be a bonus, trust me on this. That's the tip number 6. But tip number 7, same thing, use template, divide the entire 2 minutes into 5 parts. Background information 20-25 seconds. Now get back to the part 1. Didn't we talk about part 1 for 20-25 seconds? Yes, that means the template for the part 1 can be reused here. That means part 1 you learn, part 1 you study, part 1 question you practice. Cue card, just make use of it. Hope you are getting it. Kidney man, come on, make use of the the real things. These are the real things that get you the scores. Background information, how to speak for 20-25 second content, no mark. Correct? It's all about how you speak. It's not what you speak. How to speak, answer to the point, paraphrase, additional point or conclusion. Part 1, write part 1, speak part 1 for 17-22 seconds, done. Then 3 questions will be there. 1, 2, 3 in the bulletin, in the chit. First question part 1, second question part 1, third question part 1. Speak for 20-25 seconds. 3 part 1 done. That means 3 times you need to speak the part 1 again, and the 4th is futuristic idea. Again use part 1 because it is 20-25 seconds. If it is 40 seconds, you cannot make use of part 1 template. It is 20 second, 25 second, 22 second. You can definitely make use of part 1 template. So that means part 1 you prepare, part 1 you don't have to prepare. Part 2 is just a protrusion, the extension of part 1. Hope you are getting it. It's very simple. Just have to know the secretive techniques. And anytime you need online assistance, you can join us. We'll give you feedback. It's a paid course. All right. Tip number 8, part 2. The bulletin questions that are given to you are not mandatory to use. Remember this, the examiner will give you a question in the chit with some bulletins. They are only present to guide you, to help you talk, to help you get some ideas. Even if you don't use them, you can get full marks because content is not even written in the evaluation criteria. Let's say you took the question, examiner says 1 minute. You have time to just prepare. Correct? You would have got a pencil and a chit or something, a paper. Now you look at 3 questions, all 3 questions are difficult. And then don't use them. Create your own question. You have the topic. You remember whatever, you remind yourself what could be talked from the topic. And write 3 random things and prepare well in 1 minute. First thing I'm going to talk about this. Second thing I'm going to talk about this. For third point I'm going to talk about this. Or if the questions given there is helping you, use them. If it is of no help, if they are nonsensical questions, let's say, or you don't have a clue about what the questions were, so difficult to talk about, then bring about your own questions. 3 things, 3 questions you prepare. And for this, background information and futuristic idea, in 1 minute you prepare and start talking. Never assume that 3 questions are given in the chit, I need to use the same. No. Whether you use it or not, you're going to get the same scores. These are all the secretive tips that we have already researched. And these things are working, trust me on this, okay? You can use any 3 pointers for your idea generation. Don't have to mandatorily use the ones that are given to you by the examiner. Alright, tip number 9, always go slow. Do you really think I'm speaking fast? Though many people commented that I speak fast. No, I'm trying to speak continuous. If you properly understand or properly observe, I'm actually speaking slow. What is speaking fast? This is actually speaking fast. No, I'm not speaking fast. I'm actually trying to speak continuous but in a slow rhythmic way. People misunderstand fluency to speaking fast. No, it's speaking natural. Giving pauses, ample amount of pauses. It's about conveying. To convey, you need to speak naturally. Always go slow. Fluency doesn't mean speaking fast. Go natural at a natural speed, but avoid fumbling or dragging the words. Avoid. Try to avoid as much as possible. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, totally fine, because naturally when you speak, you actually do that. But if you observe, not even a second I have done this. This entire thing is unedited. You could see we have never taken the parts. Entire thing is unedited, and I have not fumbled even once. The same way you have to speak, and try doing it naturally. When you talk with your friend, ask other friend to just record. You never fumble. You never drag. No, you will just speak. The same way you have to talk in front of the examiner, and always speak slow. Nowhere it is written that you have to go fast. When you go slow, you actually buy some time to think and execute. Correct? If you go fast, it becomes very, very difficult to actually think and execute at the same time, which I am facing. Don't speak fast. Go slow. Slow doesn't mean that it is very, very slow. Natural speed. Right now I am talking at a natural speed. Okay, there are a lot of benefits to speaking slow. Avoid using and like I already told before. Tip number 10, the last step to end this with. Let's start with part 3. Part 3, you may have to speak for 30-35 seconds. Then what to do, Nakul? Part 1 only I am going to use, but I am going to add extra one more sentence. Done and dusted. Part 1 you studied. Part 1 studied perfectly, guys. Use part 1 template with a small twist. Sorry on that spelling mistake. With a small twist. What is the twist? Answer to the point. They would have asked you a question. Answer to the point in a simple sentence. Paraphrase it with since, although, whenever, wherever, if, when, since, despite, in spite of, even though, and then continue the paraphrasing by one more sentence. This could be a simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. Pay more attention. The part 1 template will last for 20, 22 or 25 seconds. Now we have to speak for 30, 40 seconds. One more sentence, 10 seconds, done and dusted. But coherence cohesion is very, very important. So maintain the same order. Answer to the point should be the first sentence. Paraphrasing this should be the second sentence. Continuation to the paraphrasing should be the third sentence. Means sentence number 3 should be a continuation of sentence number 2. And the last one, as usual, the template. Conclude it or additional idea. Just this sentence number 3 we added for 10 seconds. Therefore, it will become 30, 33 seconds easily, which is enough for part 3 questions. Alright, I really hope this video made sense. If you like the content, do give it appreciation with a thumbs up, because it's so difficult to make content like this on every alternative day basis. If you observe, we have been posting videos every alternative day. And any time you need online assistance, you can WhatsApp us to the number given there. We will be there to help you guide in the right way and to tell you a lot of students on an everyday basis are getting that 7.5 and 8, 778 has become very common, so don't delay your success. And if you like the video, please leave your appreciation with a thumbs up and do leave a comment as to how you felt about the video. It really feels so good to know that you guys liked it. Alright guys, with this I'll park it here. This is Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. Soon I'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.